This is a brief video regarding the Way ANOVA in SPSS. You see here we've got our usual spreadsheet type format. We've got a set of variables, all 30 of them. Now obviously with ANOVA we are testing for significant difference between the mean squares, within the groups, between the groups and the total mean squares. So what we need to do is to take this data set, and by the way you can only put it in one column to run the test on SPSS. We need to then tell the system that this is in a series of groups. So what we need to do is to get this out of the way. Go to the variable view we've got there. Now we've already got ANOVA in there. That's the system or the list of data that we've got. And it's important that we set decimals to 0, which we've already done there. So we need to type in groups into the descriptive label. And again, it's putting in there that it's going to give us decimals of 2. So the first thing you've got to do is click here and turn it down to 0. Otherwise it won't work properly. Now coming over to values, you need to click on it and this little blue button comes up. So click on that and we need to say what we're going to do. So for our values, we're going to have 1 for the first of our groups in the coding. And the label for it will be before, because this will be the before test. You have to click on add. Then we go for the next value is going to be 2, and this one's going to be during as the group title. Again, click on add. Then on the last one we give it a value of 3, and we're going to call it after, as in after the test or training. So we click that on add as well. Now it's all okay as it is, and we click OK. So we can now see that that's in there in the system. Now if we go back to data view, we've now got groups there as our heading for that column, and we need to start telling the system what we've got in here. So put in 1 first of all, and we copy that if it will let us. Which for some reason it doesn't seem to want to. Alright, now I've got it okay. So go down as far as the first complete group, which is down to 10, and paste it, so that's okay. Next one we put in 2. And again, click out for a moment, click back in, copy it, and then fill out the boxes down to the next set. And click paste. And then next one, codes 3. And again, click out, click back in, copy, fill out the cells, right click, go paste. So we should now, if we just double check, go from 10 to 20. Down to there, then 11 down to, right, okay, so we've now got our groups in there. So having done that, we then need to go to Analyze and come down to Compare Means, because that's the basis for ANOVA, if I get it to stay. Way ANOVA, which is what we're dealing with. Click on that, and if I just go reset for a moment. Now we're dealing with, if we look for it, ANOVA, which has got to go into the dependent list, which you can see there. And then we want groups to go into the factors list, which we've now got. Now, the ANOVA test will tell you whether or not you've got a significant difference between the squared means, but you also need to know which groups are actually being affected. Now, in order to do that, you need to click on Post Hoc and choose 2K, which is here, which is the honest difference test. And we've already set the significance level by default of 0.05. Everything else is as it needs to be, so that's okay. So we can now click Continue. And we're now set up. We've done everything we need to do. So if we click OK, we then get our ANOVA results. And we can see as we go across that we've got between groups, within groups, and total. So we've got our 3 square sums of the means, degrees of freedom. And we can see there that we've got an F value and then significance value. Now, the significance value, if it were less than 0.05, we would reject the null hypothesis. If it's greater than 0.05, we accept the hypothesis. In this case, it's greater, so we're accepting it, and we are saying that there is no significant difference between the mean squares and total. Now, the post hoc test, the 2K test, which is the one we've got here, which is the honest square difference, or HSD. It gives us an idea of what the relationships are between the different groupings. Now on this occasion they are all greater than 0.05, the significance or p-value, so we can see there is no significant difference between any of the groups. But if these figures had been, where I've got the cursor now, if they had been below 0.05, it would have been significant and you would have been suggesting that you should reject the null hypothesis. And that's it.